So C times B, if I use the same matrix, C is 4, 1, 2, negative 3, and we're going to multiply it by 8, negative 2, 0, 1, negative 3, 6. Okay. Yes, but they have to fit. They have to fit a certain pattern. So here's the deal. When you multiply matrices, and this is one of the trickiest things this chapter, okay? So once you get this, you've got a major portion of this chapter. You take this row and this column. So the number of items in this row has to equal the number of items in this column. So you're going to take this first row with this column, then we're going to go to this column, and then we're going to go to the third column. This row and this column is going to give me one number, and that's going to go in the top row, left column of my answer. So just bear with me. I know it's going to look really confusing at first. So I take 4 times 8 plus 1 times 1. So I start on the left, I go from left to right, and I go from top down, and I pair them up, I multiply them together, and I add their answers. So if I was doing this in my head, I would look at this and go 32 plus 2 is 33. So my answer in my first spot, sorry, 1. 32 plus 1 is 33. I just said 2 because in my head I added 1 plus 1. But I will write out here the steps of exactly where that comes from. So it's 4 times 8 plus 1 times 1. Now you're done with this row and you go to the next, or you're done with this column, you go to the next column. So I'm going to do 4 times negative 2 plus 1 times negative 3. So that would be negative 8 plus a negative 3. Now I'm done with that column. I go to the third one, 4 times 0 plus 1 times 6. So negative 8 plus negative 3 is negative 11. 0 plus 6 is 6. Now notice that I used this top row with all my columns, and that gave me the top row of my answer. When you use the top row, you get the top row. Okay, now I'm done with that. I'm going to go down and use the bottom row, and I'm going to go through the same process. I'm still going to go from left to right and top to bottom. So this is going to be 2 times 8 plus negative 3 times 1. Then I use this one, 2 times negative 2 plus negative 3 times negative 3. That takes care of that column. Now I go to my third column, 2 times 0 plus negative 3 times 6. So 16 plus negative 3 is 13. Negative 4 plus 9 is 5. And 0 plus negative 18 is negative 18.